Hey guys, welcome back, and I decided to do a movie review for you guys today since I have some time free. And this time it's going to be on one that I haven't talked about yet, and that is Four Christmases from 2008. And the film was directed by Seth Gordon and stars Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. And basically, what this movie's about is basically it's Christmas time, and a couple, Brad and Kate, basically plan to go on a tropical vacation, but unfortunately ends up getting canceled due to dense fog, and they uh, are basically stuck in a predicament to basically spend time with their families for Christmas, and they end up having four Christmases because both their parents are divorced, and so they have to go to Brad's dad's house and his mom's house, and they have to go to Kate's mom's house and her dad's house as well, and two of them have dysfunctional families, and that's basically the premise of the film. And I remember seeing this quite a few years ago, and I remember really enjoying it, and I still enjoy the film. I didn't see it when it came out. I was a kid when it came out, and I do like Vince Vaughn as an actor. I do like Reese Witherspoon as an actress. They're both very well. Um, they both do a really good job in the film, and there's also a whole bunch of other stars in the film, like Robert Duvall is Vince Vaughn's dad, and he's like an older prick guy, and um, John Favreau and Tim McGraw basically play Vince Vaughn's older brothers, and they're assholes. And you also have John Voight, who's Kate's dad, and you have Mary Steenburgen, who plays Kate's mom, and you also have Sissy Spacek, who's also Vince Vaughn's mother, and she's really good in this one too. Everybody in this movie is done does a phenomenal job in this one. And Robert Duvall, always liked him as an actor. John Voight, not the biggest fan of. But he does a good job for what he was given. And John Favreau, I'm a big fan of because he did Iron Man. He did some of the episodes of the Mandalorian, stuff like that. And um, you know, there's also a cameo of Peter Billingsley, who's Ralphie from A Christmas Story. He is a person at the airport when they get there, and he basically tells them that that how they can't do anything about the trip because their trip got canceled. So that's pretty cool. And he's actually really close friends with Vince Vaughn in real life. For those who don't know that. And yeah, I really like the story. Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon have great chemistry. They've been a couple for quite a while, and they're not engaged and they're not married yet either. And uh, you see that how there's some ups and downs in their relationship, but they try to work through it as much as they can, and they have a good relationship. And in the beginning, it's kind of strange because like they're role playing at like a club and whatever, and they're saying like a bunch of weird shit to each other, like they say different names, and like at one point, like he's calling her a slut and everything, which was kind of surprising when I first saw it. I was like, oh shit, when I first saw it. But, and it's still kind of weird even watching it now, even though I know what's going to happen. It still feels kind of weird. Because it's like a role play, it's like for the kinks, I guess. Yeah, it's like a kink thing or something. Because couples do like to role play and whatever, but we're not going to get into that topic. But yeah, it's just very funny. There's a lot of memorable scenes like where Brad's trying to set up the satellite dish for his dad, and and everything goes ass backwards, and everything gets all fucked up, and that's pretty funny. And Brad's older brothers basically are always, smacking him around, wrestling him, tripping him, punching him and hitting him and everything. Like it's pretty funny, but also pretty stupid. And like Kate's mom, tells a whole bunch of shit about Kate's past that embarrasses her and everything, and that Brad didn't even know about. And they mention stuff about Brad, meaning his family tells her stuff that she didn't know about him. And, so that whole aspect is it can be relatable for like a lot of people because that's just how a lot of families are, and it's also relatable because not everybody has a close good relationship with their family, and a lot of families are toxic, as we all know, and they both definitely have dysfunctional families. In one way or the other. And you also have Sissy Spacek, who plays Brad's mom, who's also dating his best friend when they were growing up, which is creepy, by the way, I might add. And, Vince Vaughn is not really comfortable with it and everything, and his friend is acting like everything's all kumbaya, which we all know is not the case, but it's what it is to him. And they play games and stuff like that, and they're giving each other shit and everything. And yeah, it's just an all in all very fun movie to watch around the holidays. I watch it like at least once a year during Christmas, and I watched it a while ago, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was last weekend I watched it. Yeah, you can watch it on HBO Max if you have that. It's on there. It's usually on there every year, and it's 89 minutes long, so it's a short film. Nothing that felt forced or anything like that. Um, it's sorry, I got a text earlier. That's why you heard that ding. But yeah, it was on a budget of $80 million. It made 163.7 million worldwide at the box office. So yeah, it was a hit. And It's one of those movies that has a very low rating on IMDb, sadly. Like, it has a 5.7 out of 10, and I think that's too low. I think it deserves at least a 7, in my opinion. It's definitely top tier, Christmas film, and it's a comedy romance movie, and um, it can be like a movie for both men and women. Like some people might want to consider it as maybe like a quote unquote chick flick, but me personally, I don't really consider it as that. Like I can see it as being a movie for both men and women. To watch and enjoy, and people can watch it as a couple, and you can even watch it by yourself if you're a man or a woman. There's no law against it because we all know it's a free country. So um yeah, I think that this movie definitely needs to be talked about more because this is one of them that you don't really hear a lot of people talk about. Like it's either brushed under the rug or well swept under the rug. I guess you could say not brushed under the rug, swept under the rug. Um, it's definitely an underrated comedy, and it's very funny, and you'll have a lot of laughs. Definitely not for the little kids because there's a lot of like risque jokes that they won't understand or anything. But it's good for teenagers, and they'll definitely have a laugh out of it. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of rude and crude humor in there that's very funny, and um, I just watch it like every year, and every time I watch it, I always have a good time. I'm laughing my ass off, having a great time with it. So hopefully you'll have a great time with it too. So, if you like romantic comedies or anything like that, or if you're a Christmas movie buff, you definitely need to go see it or rent it or buy it. Do what you got to do. It is available on Blu-ray. I'll have to pick up the Blu-ray sometime. I definitely want to add it to my collection because it's a great movie. And for 2008 movie, it still holds up uh, today. You know, it's never gonna, you know, be like outdated or anything. Some people might say it's outdated, but I don't think so. But yeah, I think it's a great Christmas movie. Definitely go watch it if you haven't. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And stay tuned for more reviews coming up within the next couple days. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and Merry Christmas.